Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Welcome to Marketing While Muslim. This is episode 2 of this show. It's a video, it's audio show. I guess you could call it a podcast. And we are Muslim CEO. We are the 3 founders of Muslim CEO. And this is a show where we dive into not just marketing really, but business. And we kind of try and flex our marketing muscles when it comes to creating concepts, ideas for businesses. And I'm sure we're going to explore so many different things. The idea here is a bit of entertainment, a bit of education, a bit of benefit, and just a lot of fun, really. So sit back, enjoy. This week, we're going to get into the actual thick of it, because last episode we kind of just talking about our thoughts on the Muslim market, and that was way too stiff and formal. So this week, I wanted to start it with a bit of an icebreaker. So both of you guys, you have to give me, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to think of it, then you have to give your answer. Yeah. What was the best iftar you had this Ramadan so far? Go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, Faisal.
Because my wife watching my episodes, I have to say, she made biryani a few days ago, and so biryani, and we had trifle, and we had all sorts. So that was nice.
Okay. Mohammad.
So for me, it's interesting. I think it was actually yesterday. And the reason for that is yesterday we actually had different families come to my house just to deliver food. So we had a couple of families.
You're being too formal, bro. You're doing this whole like...
No, but I think because yesterday...
You had families come over with the coronavirus.
Yeah.
Let me get the Queen on the phone.
No, but they maintained social distancing, obviously, right? But the fact that
everyone had masks on, they're just like, yeah.
No. Hold on. Look, they came to just deliver food, bro.
Okay.
They didn't give it. So what happened on
the
table?
Sure, we believe you.
So on the table, we ended up with like loads of different foods, and it was like really amazing food. So just
what was the food?
Family. There was loads of stuff. There was like chicken. There was chaat. There was like those little tikkia things. There was like unlimited stuff.
Why would Why would you ask an icebreaker about food in the middle of fasting?
Well, that's the challenge, bro.
What? Okay, fair enough.
I'm trying to give you more edge out here.
Oh, there you go.
Okay, so
what about you?
Oh, me. You know what? You guys mentioned something recent, because that's probably what you remember, isn't it?
It's true.
So another recent for me maybe is we had enchiladas one day. That was really good. You know, I love Mexican food.
Yeah. Okay.
Actually, I had it yesterday. I had the reheated one. You know, like when you reheat like lasagna or something.
Okay.
It's even better. So
it's better, yeah.
If you ask me this question next week, it might change, because tonight it's actually Pepe's.
Okay.
Yeah, so.
Pepe's fifth star. I guess that's all right.
Yeah.
I guess I'll let you off with that. Okay. So for this week, inshallah, we're ready now. Yeah, you're ready. This week, what I wanted to do is see if we can take a concept that somebody has already put together. I don't know if they're actually running it as a business or as a kind of just a charity kind of organization thing, but most things I think you can monetize and you can turn it into a business. You can operate it in a way where, you know, it's got money coming in, whether that money is going for profits or it's going to grow the thing. That's the whole point here. So let me share with you the idea here. And I think the way we'll do it, Mohammed, is I'll send you the link and then you share it on your screen, right? Or can I just share my screen directly?
Yeah, you can share your screen. Yeah.
Okay, so this is what I wanted to share.
I think it's worth mentioning at this point that this is a complete surprise to me, Mohammed.
Yeah.
I've been cooking this in the.
Yeah. So the idea here is that we just throw ideas out there, and we've got like an hour basically to come up with some good concept, right? See how good we are. So this is something I came across. Okay, TVTV. So if you see here, Mohammed, you can see my screen now.
Yeah. I can't see your screen. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, okay. Now, yeah.
So
there you go.
yeah. So what this looks like, it's a live streaming platform for scholars and speakers to teach Islamic knowledge. Okay, so it says simply follow a streamer and get notified when they go live. Okay, so it's something new, and I haven't really seen this before. I guess you could call it, is it like Twitch but for Islamic knowledge kind of thing?
Yeah, it could be,
So I think it's something new, and so I thought, you know, even if it goes in a completely other direction, let's like work on this, right? So I don't think we should limit it to maybe I think it depends on the audience. I was going to say, let's not limit it to Islamic knowledge, but maybe it could be just something for Muslims. So maybe let's get started with, I think the best place you start with any business organization is the avatar, right?
Sure.
Does that sound right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've just got a Google Doc open here. And yeah,
I mean, based on this, then I guess we should be following the 5 Ps framework, right? So
that'll be a quick way to go about this. And get everything covered.
Exactly. So for those that don't know, the 5 P framework is just something that we kind of follow when we're creating new businesses and going through the ideas and stuff. And like Amin said, the first thing we'll start with is the avatar,
people, right?
Which is the P for the people. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Right. So who do you think, like a good way of thinking of avatar and, the people you want to target? A lot of the time it's, I want to make this product and then, okay, which people would want the product. But I think let's decide on what is we're probably going to focus on Muslims here, some section of the Muslim population, right? Let's pick a section who are like passionate and they might have disposable income. I think that's the way we should go about this to start with, isn't it?
Yeah. So I think one thing that speaks out straight away is sisters, because even whether it's a knockdown or not, often they're obviously out, maybe more at home. They're more, obviously we know that they're more, I guess, generous when it comes to sort of donations or investing in training or things like that. So there's the affluent side of it, but then the fact that they actually have got that problem that they're not as mobile as the males. They're not able to go to the mosque or to sort of study and stuff. So it kind of solves the problem.
Interesting. Okay, that's good. So let's just brainstorm everything. I was thinking maybe for people that consider themselves lifelong learners. Yeah, that's maybe a smaller group, but still those people tend to be passionate. Maybe they spend money on education and stuff.
Yeah.
Any other ideas?
So is this specifically for this platform that we're thinking, or is it any type?
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, we got the general concept of the platform, which is some kind of live streaming educational platform. Beyond that, we haven't really.
One thing we just need to ask here. I mean, you don't have any like shares or anything in this. Is there conflict of interest?
No.
Okay, yeah. So I mean, just explain to me, Ro, just so I understand, because I just want to understand from a service perspective. You're saying that they do streaming, so it's more of a platform. The fact that these guys are on there, rather than it being technology or anything, right?
I guess it's both. I mean, I guess they're using a third party for the technology. Yeah, bro, it's like Twitch for Islamic knowledge. That's what.
So would you guys consider this a bit like a platform then?
It is a platform, definitely. Yeah. Like these teachers that are on it so far, they're like, they've just signed up or someone signed them up and stuff. Right. So yeah. So any other kind of avatars, Mohammed, that could be, good, passionate people?
The one I'd go for is a student of knowledge. So actually, so this is a supplement to the high level, because obviously maybe it's this high level academic type of content. It's good for them.
Yeah, I think that's good.
Let me actually zoom in here. Okay, so there's no other people. Yeah. What's next, Mohammed, after people?
So after people is the problem. So what is the problem that they're facing? Now, obviously, when we talk about problem, we want to choose something that they actually are going through and they would say themselves. And the thing when it comes to problem is you want to choose a problem which is painful and also a problem that they can pay for. So what is some of the problems that these guys are kind of having? I mean, one thing could be information overload, because with YouTube and all this stuff, like the choice is just so much.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah. Okay. It could be access to classes in local area. Yeah.
It could be access in your local in your language.
Okay. Classes in your language. I also thought I put the doc, by the way, the link in the chat because I'm struggling a bit to type with the laptop like this. What was it? Access to like niche topics, like to learn about.
That's very good.
Of course, Faisal, you love that. Yeah.
2 to 4.
Another thing is that like no access to human beings. Like a lot of the YouTube learning is all done through like obviously passively, like watching it like TV. Whereas this is like
live interaction,
live chat. Yeah, exactly.
Because obviously when we write it out, we want to write it like a problem, rather than it being kind of like the solution, because that's going to come later, inshallah.
Yeah.
What's the problem there? The problem is no access to, no direct access, right? So that's good. What else?
Yeah. What are the problems? So sisters, okay.
I guess to discover new scholars and new hidden gems.
Is that a problem though?
Is that a problem?
I mean,
that's a byproduct, I guess. No, it's not a problem. I agree.
One of the other problems I was thinking of is that, like even myself, like when I was studying with Al Maghrib Institute, like I felt like it was structured, but now a lot of my learning is kind of randomized. So it's like random learning without structure, and so from a progress perspective, probably don't feel like you would if you were going through something structured.
I would say the problem with there might be like studying, but not getting like momentum and proper progress. Yeah, that's a big deal, because when you've got like a 4-year uni degree, you after first year it's just obvious that you go to second year, but when you finish a weekend seminar, it's not obvious what's the next step. So then you lose that regularity, consistency, momentum, all of that. Another problem could be, I was thinking about not being able to access classes, even if it's in your local area, but it's like it's like if you have kids and stuff, you can't just
convenience.
Yeah. How do we say that as a problem?
So
no access. No.
Or even lack of convenience, isn't it? It's like
hard to
life getting in the way of studying as well.
Commit to studies.
And so one thing I want to the thing that came to mind was there's a proliferation of online courses and stuff like that, and people, in one sense, one of the benefits of that is, I can do it at my own convenience and this and that. But that also is a problem. It prevents people from actually doing it. Whereas this is a live stream. This is if you want to join it, you have to turn up at this time.
No recordings.
No recordings. So it's accountability and somewhere I need to be. It's like a destination almost. So
should we go on, Faisal?
Yeah, so I don't know how you frame that as a problem, but it's almost like
for me that problem is kind of related to what I call the chapter 1 problem, which is that you kind of start something, but then you don't ever get past chapter 1. So it's kind of like, okay, well, how do you like maintain that kind of thing? It's a bit like, I remember I was sitting in a room with some friends and we were talking about Bayna TV, right? And I was like, okay, of all of us, how many of us have Bayna TV? And every single one of us was paying for the subscription. I'm like, okay, in the last 3 months, who of you, including myself, have ever accessed it and gone through it? And it was like, nobody, right? Because it's that whole thing where, you buy it, but also in your mind, it's like, you want to support the cause, but there's not that right kind of thing to do that,
Sure. Okay.
I'm just putting it down like this.
Yeah.
Oh, I spelled committed wrong, did I? Anyway.
Did you have a community here?
No.
So lonely learning, like lonely learning.
That's good.
Don't jack that one. That's all. I know you're thinking it. I just saw it. I just saw you store it in your head. That lonely learning. Okay, that's a good one.
Yo, Faisal, get off Google domains, man. So with like the people that we've got, like those 3 avatars, should we like pick one and then moving forward we can focus on that one? I think, right?
Yeah.
So, what are you feeling?
I think dedicated students of knowledge is strong, obviously, for this one.
I think it might be niche though.
Good.
I like sisters.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean,
thank you for letting us know that that's your preference, bro. That's good.
Yeah, I like the sisters option.
When you wrote the masculinity book.
Yeah.
I think this is the strongest one there, to be honest.
It's too wide, guys. Like, it's too wide. It's not niche
Really?
enough.
Like, it's obviously Muslim sisters. Muslim.
Okay. We're using that one, yeah. All right.
Muslim sisters. I mean, maybe Muslim sister like who are parents or who have got kids and stuff.
No, what I'm saying is that it's way too wide, right? If you're basically saying female Muslims, right? So obviously we're always telling people, look, you've got a niche,
Yeah.
and the more you niche, the better it is for you, right?
But surely their problem is the strongest. That look, access to knowledge has.
No, but what problem we're going to get to later, right? First, we just want to make sure that we're niched enough for that, because otherwise, what I'm saying is that if you took Muslim sisters as just Muslim sisters, and then we sat them down like 100 of them, and we said, "Sister, tell me what's the problem in life?" They'll say, "My problem is marriage. My problem is trying to balance life, like in terms of dunya and like working and all that kind of stuff. My problem is kids. My problem is my husband. All those kind of things."
But that's fair enough. But what my point is that like we can like niche down further in terms of sisters, in terms of age range and all that kind of stuff. Demographic wise, we can do that. But I think as opposed, like for dedicated to knowledge, there are places to go. There are things to do with the sisters. I think that first of all, you can even make the whole topics that are talked about like sisters focus. You can do it. So
no, but I'm saying sisters is good. I'm just saying that it's not niche enough.
I think the value, if this is going to be the avatar, the value for them is going to be the kind of community aspect, I think, right?
Yeah.
And so what kind of sisters are looking for that? Maybe that's the way we can go niche.
But I think it's also around like Muslim sisters who want to seek knowledge, right? And this is another thing, by the way, yeah? So check this out.
But what if, Mohammed, the platform was exercise classes as well?
Okay, that's a bit... but again, for me, I would go more niche. The reason why I would go niche is because suddenly when you start doing that wide, you start going, okay, well, I could just stream on Zoom or I could stream on YouTube or whatever, right? And then on YouTube, you've got your own maintained audiences. The reason I'm saying this whole thing around Muslim sisters is quite interesting because if you link the whole thing around scholars and this and that, what happens is a brother, even though, by the way, a brother may struggle to find access, the brother can still go to his local masjid, right? A lot of the brothers I know, they'll still go and they'll sit with this sheikh and they'll sit with that sheikh. They have that like live access to shuyukh in person even, right? Yeah. And then with the sisters, they don't have any of that stuff. There's a very few alimas that are there, and then there's very few alimas that are out for other sisters in that way as well. So for me, I think it's actually really good that you have sisters, but obviously this is about sisters who want to kind of, develop themselves, strengthen their connection with Allah, those kind of areas. And then from there we can, because those are the sisters that will say, well, the problem is that, life's getting in the way and I don't feel like I'm doing enough for Islam and I feel like I did all of that, right?
And they want to obviously grow in the deen to raise the children in the right, in the right way and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, I think this is a good one to go for.
So you're saying people interested in, sisters interested in seeking knowledge?
Yeah.
That's
yeah.
What if the platform isn't just that though?
No, but this is what I'm saying to you, that for us, the way we should be working is you go people first, right? Because now what we're doing is we're getting married to the platform and then we're trying to make everything fit, right?
Exactly. So for us, the methodology properly, exactly.
From the methodology, we want to go the other way because then we know it's going to be successful because it's a real type of avatar, it's a real type of problem, right?
Yeah, but why do we have to pick that avatar? It's because you saw this ittiba.tv, right?
But I thought that was a theme.
Yeah, I thought that was,
The theme, I would say the theme is more like a live streaming platform and obviously maybe Muslim focus.
Yeah, so for me, even if it's a live stream, this is what I'm saying, that what happens is I feel that with something like this, you're going to fall into issues. If you don't niche down very strictly, you're going to fall into this issue where you're then going to become one of those platforms where it's just so like wide, right? And then all things to all men. And then on top of that, you then fill into the whole, well, we got YouTube anyway, and YouTube does live stream. And by the way, Facebook does live stream, and we can build our communities there because the people are already there. So why would I now bring a whole new audience to a new, it just...
So how this is done properly is, when you turn on the people, so let's say it's Muslim sisters, forget that who wants to seek knowledge for now, Muslim sisters, and then maybe you're at a demographic 20 to 40 or whatever. Then you go on the problem for that their going through.
Yeah.
Because at the moment we're just doing problems in general for live streaming platforms and knowledge platforms and stuff.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So, and so for them, it might be, oh yeah, they can't get to the gym and stuff. So fitness classes then it becomes a viable solution. Or it might be, oh, I want to learn other skills or
But what I do think is good, bro, is we're using this organization as an example, because even if they're watching, like they can get an idea of how to actually now structure. Because what's going to happen after we do this is obviously it's going to structure the messaging and it's going to impact everything, right? But the reason I'm saying, because obviously from a time perspective, I don't know if you've got a clock running, but we've got 3-4 other sections. So I'm like, let's choose it and let's just bang through it. You know?
Okay, let's say 20 to 50. Sound good? It could be even wide. 60, but
just anyone who's an adult, basically.
Well, I mean, there is 60, 70, 80-year-olds, but
okay.
I don't know. Is that okay, or do you think we should go more narrow?
Yeah. So I mean, again, is this English speaking? Is this?
Well, that's the next step. Next question.
Yeah. I mean, what's interesting, bro, is that with the ages and stuff, is that there's a lot of ladies who are older who are actually out there seeking knowledge. So something very interesting. Like the other day, I went into my room, and my mom's there. She's on her Zoom class, and she's like, just speaking to the whole class, and they're doing a Quran class there.
Yeah. So we could go a bit more. We could go to 60. I don't mind. Let's do that.
Yeah. But the problem again, we always say this to clients and stuff, that when it's that wide, the problem that a 20-year-old sister faces is different from the problem that sister.
It's true, yeah. And so we would have to.
I think
we're gonna. What,
I would go 30 to 40 type of thing, because this is the age where, look, the young life is done, kind of married and stuff. Now I've got kids coming soon.
Yeah.
Now I need to start bettering myself for my children. There's all that motivation to develop yourself. Well. Yeah. But obviously sisters are getting married a little bit later. So for me, it would be like
25 onwards, maybe.
25 to 40 or something.
Yeah, I think that's perfect. Yeah, 25 to 40 is bang on.
25 to 40.
Yeah.
Okay, good. And then this part is interesting for me, which is like the location or the language, because I think something like this could really be enabling for people outside of the English speaking world. So that's why I think we should maybe
like Urdu or something.
Exactly. Like we could do like 2 main languages, for example. And all that means is that you just have to have the website in 2 languages, right? And then you have to let the people who want to do the live streaming, let them know that there are these 2 options, right? So we don't go too wide in terms of like 3, 4, 5, 6 languages.
I think what you'll find is if you create the platform well enough, the languages will take care of themselves. Like if you think about YouTube, people have just got their own YouTube languages, and YouTube, obviously they start to support it once it gets to a decent size. They then need to produce help content and all that stuff. But in the initial stages, I think it'd be.
But we also depend on like what are the rules that you want to follow, because I remember the conversation we had last week about 75% of the Muslim world do speak English as a second language. As a first language. So it's like if you want to go to 80-20, maybe it is just let's go for English to start off with, and then and then that's like a kind of catch-all thing, and then eventually we'll add others.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. And then what areas of the world would we focus on in terms of marketing it and promoting it to people? Like I guess it would be
well, obviously for us when we do this properly, we actually do a proper avatar, right? That's how we usually do it. Obviously, we don't need to go into that much detail right now, but I would say this person's like living in New York or London or something like that. It's like one of those kind of typical type things. I mean,
I guess I'm seeing it more like an education empowerment platform where it's not like, we need loads of money or this and that. It's like, with this you can really reach a lot of people who might not even leave their house that much and stuff like that. That's why I like the idea of Urdu. I like the idea of playing India there. They definitely know English, a lot of them, and stuff like that. So I think Western world, India, there's like strong English speaking.
I mean, I think generally it's good. It's just when we're doing the avatar, obviously we're more specific. right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess, Mohammed, this is like a level before the avatar, so it's more broad. And as we narrow down like the product and all of that, that's when we can pick different phases.
5 Ps, it's always the top line, and then
I'm just saying, just
your
keep
audience thing. Then that's when we go deep.
Just keep an eye on time. That's what I'm saying.
Cool. All right. I think that's enough there. We can move on.
Yeah. So if we look at this avatar, then, so this is our avatar. I'll delete these others.
Sure.
Right. If this is our avatar, then what problem do they have? What problem do they need solving?
So I think the access to classes in the local area, maybe access to classes in the language, niche topics, maybe a lot of women's issues, etc. Direct access to teachers, definitely want to. All of these ones are relevant, I think. I'll give you an example. I went to a hackathon a few months ago, and one of the products that they created, they won the teams, was a Q&A app. It was connected to the mosque apparently, and it was basically dedicated for sisters to get their questions answered directly from an imam. Ask Imam or something it was called, I think. But that did really, really well on the night in terms of feedback and stuff, because they, like, a lot of the sisters in the audience, they said, "Oh my God, it's such a big problem."
I think
nowhere to go. We've got nowhere to go. The mosque don't let us in, and all of that stuff. And so,
and this is what I was saying about the whole access and stuff. But I think that we should go on a more painful note, right? And the painful note is actually the lonely learning, but also more of the sense of community. Because I think a lot of the time, what happens is with a lot of women, especially if they don't work, a lot of women kind of feel like, especially once they got kids and stuff, they feel like they're losing themselves a little bit for the first time, like their identity's kind of disappearing, right? Because it's like, okay, kids are taking over, the husband's taking over, and like I'm not working anymore, and I'm just at home. So it's like doing more, being better, and so that whole thing around like, you know, me being me and my identity and learning and community, like all that kind of thing. I think that's a good painful,
like being better with alongside others.
Yeah, and that's the beauty of like seeking knowledge actually in a community environment, is that it's actually like community, but it's community for the sake of Allah, and there's like real benefit. And this is what I'm saying, like my mom, alhamdulillah, like she feels very connected to her group. Like every single morning, like she's sitting there for like an hour and a half with those same people on Zoom and having that. So you can imagine how they kind of feel. Like now they're saying this is one of the benefits of Corona, right? That they used to have this class weekly, every Wednesday they would go physically to meet. Now with Corona and they're testing Zoom out, they're like, look, we should do this every morning anyway. Like we're all older women. We can all spare a few hours in the morning. Why don't we just do it every day like this? So that community is very strong.
That social aspect's big.
Good.
Sometimes they'll come on just to say hello to everyone. I'm not feeling the lessons today.
But...
So Mohammed, what's the next P?
So the third one is promise, and you've kind of put it there. So promise is like, what are they going to get out of it? Right. And you've kind of put it there already, I guess. Becoming better alongside other sisters.
So it's like improvement, self-improvement, right? And then community. You know, that's kind of it, the main thing. Okay, good.
Yeah.
Next.
But what we would do is we would actually choose, because this is one of the things we're going to be careful of, right? That if you just go up a little bit, if you come to the problem, you want to choose one of those problems. Because remember, later on when we come to the whole defining what we do, like we help X, Y, Z, like we need to be clear on these things, right? And so that's what I'm saying, like what you said there in terms of like becoming better alongside other sisters, that's more of a promise that you would say, I help X, Y, Z type of thing, right?
Right.
And you know, one thing guys we need to like really think about as we're doing this, and this is a lesson for everyone watching as well, is that we have to try and get into the mind of the avatar like deeply, because what's happening right now is, remember, when we're doing it, we're 3 guys sitting here trying to design a solution for females, right? So we've got to be careful like how we even do it. So even that statement, like becoming better alongside other sisters, like that's a very kind of manly type way of saying it. But we need to be thinking in a very like feminine kind of way, right? Like exactly like what does it look like? What's the promise, the ultimate promise that I want, and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, that's why Faisal's here, bro.
Our resident feminist, feminine. Okay, cool.
What's the next P?
So after that is basically the pilot. So now that you kind of have this, what you need to do is you need to go out to the market and test it, right?
Okay.
So from
Faisal,
here,
would you like join something like this?
Okay. So I mean, what we should do, by the way, now that before the pilot, we should actually come up with the statement where it's basically, you know,
like problem
we help.
statement.
Yeah, problem solution statement.
Yeah.
Because we have what the key ingredients for it.
Good.
So
Okay. So
it should be like we help.
We help.
Okay, and this way we put
sisters.
Yeah, the people.
Should we mention seeking knowledge here?
I think
like we could say we help female students of knowledge. I don't personally like that, but
yeah.
Let's just write it out and then we can tweak it.
Yeah, we help Muslim sisters.
Yeah, to.
How about this? Expand their knowledge and their circle or social circle or something through live stream platform.
Knowledge and circle, right? So I'll put that as one, right? We'll just do like a brainstorm style.
Yeah.
We help Muslim sisters to. What's another way we could
expand their spirituality and circle? So there's a alliteration.
Are you serious?
No.
Because knowledge is like very like hard, right? But spirituality is soft, maybe more attractive, nice. I think.
Yeah, let's go for that.
I'm just thinking of the avatar though. You know what? Let's put both. Yeah.
Yeah. Maybe it's not expand. Maybe it's like to spread. No, not spread.
We help Muslim to
grow. I guess grow.
I want to use the word community, man. Like join a community or grow their community or find their community. To find their
how to find themselves, their community and
yeah, that's good. Find themselves, their community, and their calling.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Okay. To meet sisters.
You know, the other way we can do it as well, by the way, is we help Muslim sisters to overcome and then have like the problem.
Overcome
gender bias and
the patriarchy.
Yeah.
We help Muslim sisters to overcome loneliness. Is that how you spell loneliness?
No, it's not.
It's not. Okay.
Is it either?
That's loneliness.
Oh, lone, right.
Yeah, so what we could do is we could say we help Muslim sisters to overcome loneliness while learning.
Sick. I like that.
So that's like...
I'm not sure it's a big enough problem, personally.
I feel like
people,
it's...
My point is people won't define themselves, I am lonely and I'm like someone who...
Yeah, whereas finding new friends or finding a community, that's feels more...
It's brainstorming, bro. We just give ideas before you like tear mine to shreds.
Well, I mean, reacts, right? And that's
he
does what he does.
We help Muslim sisters to find community and grow themselves. I don't know.
You know, the other way again, like I think, like what do sisters want, right? Like, in the sense that it's more around making.
Oh, you're
friends.
telling sisters what they should want.
No, I'm saying it's like more around like making friends, like, you know, have connections. Like this is the kind of stuff, right?
I got an idea. Okay, to connect with, I don't know,
like-minded.
I don't know, other sisters and Allah. You know, something like that. You know, connect to Allah, connect to your sisters.
Okay, that's good.
But I didn't phrase that very well. I think we have to start picking one. Yeah. You know, one thing that I don't like with Zoom is I've no idea how long we've been going for.
So what time it is?
Yeah, I don't know.
It feels like that half an hour, 40 minutes.
Yeah.
Yeah, it should be.
Yeah. But
okay,
also, I mean,
so
like,
got like
can we do one last thing? I mean, is that you know, the problem solution statement. let's actually do it in the way that
go to the problems.
One is go to the problem, but another one is like actually write out the promises, because the promises are the ones that we're actually saying, right? We help Muslim sisters to promise, right? But the promise is just there as a self-improvement and community thing, right?
Okay. So how would you phrase the promise?
So like you've got there, like becoming better alongside other sisters. Like that's an example of a real promise.
Right.
So, and this is what I'm saying, like this is what I'm saying about getting deep into the psychology, like what do they actually want? So if we're saying our avatar is a sister that has maybe 2 children, she's married, the children are quite young, she's in that kind of place now where she wants to she wants to learn more, and she wants to like start teaching the children. Maybe they're even considering like homeschooling and all that kind of stuff. But at the same time, she's lonely because she feels like, the kids have just taken over life. And so it's like, there's that whole, because like, if I think about like my own wife and my own kind of families and stuff, like in my families, we're quite lucky because we've got a huge extended family. Everyone kind of knows each other. So they've got a connection there, right? With my wife, with a lot of the kind of organizations that we've helped with, like Al-Maghrib sisters that she knows and Ira sisters, and like, this is a big connection. But there's other people out there who, like, once they're kind of married, their work life was their main thing and their friends are on their own vibe. And now maybe you're more developed in terms of like you're more practicing and all this stuff. So suddenly it's like, okay, I don't really have that kind of community.
Yeah.
So quick one. You model this on Twitch. So talk to me a little bit about Twitch in the sense that, is that more dependent on the community? So people are coming online to do gaming and then they're watching different streamers. And then, but is it more to do with because loads of people watching it and they're the same people every time and stuff? Because that's another way of doing it, isn't it? Just look at who we're modeling. Because what we're doing,
bright spotting.
We're focusing so much on the community side. When initially, when we started the conversation, it was like, oh, women don't have access to knowledge, and it was that kind of stuff.
Mm.
And so it could be that community is a byproduct, and it's something that they'll really benefit from. But it's not what we're leading with. We're leading with actually, look, this is the place for you to actually learn. There's all the previous problems of access and part of that and all that.
The other thing you could do is you could go down the other route, guys. You could say something like, "We empower Muslim sisters to access something like knowledge-wise."
Yeah, I personally like the focus on a community. I feel like, what that does? It opens it up wider.
Yeah.
So it's not just people who are like super dedicated. It's people who, yes, they want to improve themselves. They want to gain Islamic knowledge.
Actual friends. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, like makes it a bit wider.
Camaraderie. Yeah. Fine.
Yeah. So you could do that. Like we empower sisters to access, scholars and or access knowledge and community or friends or something.
So access knowledge is part of the promise. Yeah. Community, already said that, like, I don't know, find community.
To be honest, of all of them, I think this third one, we help Muslims to find themselves community and calling, is quite good.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that, because even the calling, their calling could be, oh yeah, I'm really into fitness, and it keeps it open. Because that doesn't limit to Islamic knowledge.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure.
I'll just one thing I'll just question about that one, if we're going to go with it. That's good. Would you define it more? Because then in a way, like what that kind of becomes, and that's not necessarily a bad thing, it becomes a bit of a woman's community platform, Muslim woman's community platform.
Yeah. Well, if you look at mums.net and stuff.
Yeah, exactly. And actually, you know what? That might be a better one to kind of think about.
Like the avatar could be Muslim mothers.
Yes, exactly. And that's what I'm saying, rather than Muslim sisters, like just sisters. Because that's actually interesting as well. Like if I think about my wife now, like most of the groups that she's in, all the sisters most of them have gone through that same kind of life thing where now, first they were, like when I went to Al-Maghrib recently, I saw all my volunteers that used to be part of the team and everything. And now every one of them had a pram and kids and all this stuff. And I was like, these are the same guys who were single, like when we started, right? So like naturally there's that kind of thing there. I think on one hand, it will be really good to have sisters. So then it becomes like a sisters platform. Like, Sisters Magazine and Sisters this. So it's like, we know that these are sisters things, right? So I think that's quite good. And Twitch, if you look at Twitch, it was actually for gamers specifically, right? Before it went kind of wider. So I think like either we help Muslim sisters to find themselves, but you know what it is? Muslim sisters in general might not relate to them so much about finding themselves, the community they're calling.
But
Whereas someone who's a
mother,
mother, she might feel like she's lost herself a little bit and stuff.
100%.
Right?
And it's also that they're kind of self-care time as well, because they focus on the kids.
Yeah.
I've got an hour. You know what? Let me just check out the platform.
Yeah.
Let me check in. Yeah. Let me get my headset on and stuff.
one thing I want to say as well, guys, is that it's important for especially the viewers to watch. Like, they might be thinking, well, how are these guys like talking about mothers like this and they're doing this? It's like, what we're trying to do is we're actually trying to get into their mind and analyze them to actually help them. Because if you think about what we're kind of creating here, inshallah, because it's addressing a real problem, it's really going to help them. So it might sound quite crass, it might sound like quite like raw in the way we're speaking, but this is more just to kind of get the ideas out there, and because we're like very strict on the time that we're doing. Normally sometimes I remember us guys.
So that's what you're saying, that your true stereotypes is coming out, yeah?
Yeah, exactly. But I'm saying sometimes, like, as we've had clients in the past and stuff, we spent hours sitting there just concepting one part of this, right? Yeah, but for us today, we're just like, okay, just get on with it, type thing.
That's a stereotype.
Yeah. I think I like that one that we've come up with.
No, I mean, I think that's how it works anyway, bro. It's like, unless you already are in an industry and you know the customer very well, it's about going with your preconceived notions. Your preconceived notions, and then testing it with the market.
And that's where the pilot thing comes in. In the pilot, you're testing out a lot of this stuff out.
And another thing I would say is that one thing I would do, guys, is that we haven't done it here, but I would actually go and do what we would call like funnel hacking and bright spotting. Now, we kind of looked at Twitch slightly, but now that we have this, like Muslim mums and this and that, I would be out there. I'll be searching Muslim mums. I'll be looking at the way they're speaking. Like, I've seen a lot of sisters who do coaching for women, Muslim women, right? Yeah. And their messaging is all the same, right? Because it's all the same type of stuff, and you can test.
So it must work.
Yeah,
you would assume that I would work if everyone's using it.
Exactly. So that's good. Yeah. So you can see here now, like moms.
By the way, do we use moms or mothers?
Mothers, I think.
Because you said New York, right? So it might be moms.
Yeah, I think.
Then you get the British mummies. Muslim mummies.
What did they say? That weird word, mom and Bob. Bubba. Is that baby?
In the US, they're mom and pop.
No, I'm not talking about father. I'm talking about baby.
Oh, no idea.
No,
okay. We're wasting time. Come on.
All right. So we help Muslim mothers to find themselves, their community, and their calling. I think mothers is a nicer word. Yeah. Like, it's more respectful. It's more.
Yeah. No, I was joking, bro.
Okay.
Forget them Americans.
Yeah, we
got to be authentic.
We got loads of time for jokes, bro. Just carry on.
Yeah, don't be uptight, bro. So the pilot, we're going to kind of skip this, because in reality we would do this, of course, but we're on this 1 hour.
So section. From a pilot, let's just explain it for the benefit of everyone watching. Is that the whole point of the pilot now is to go out and test, like, is this something that's really a problem, and also do it. Like, you might be thinking of starting this, right? You're like, okay, I'm going to help Muslim mothers to find themselves, their community, and their calling. Now you actually have to find some like real volunteers. So maybe I'd go to my friends and say, look, guys, sisters, do you guys want help with this? I want to help with this. I want to help with that. And actually go and trial it and see how it works and see who's doing it and all of that.
Yeah, sure.
And then the last P
product, right?
Is it's actually you process product. Yeah, process usually what we say, and product actually kind of comes after that, but with it. But process, what we're saying is that once you do this, like once you do it 5-6 times, you learn how it's supposed to be done, right? And through that, you can then create a process and say, right, actually, what I've found, like for example, for me, I'll give you a real life example, is that when it comes to like confidence in public speaking, a lot of the time people have this fear of people looking at their face, right? And also when they're doing public speaking, they'll become very self-judgmental, right? They'll start looking at them and start judging themselves a lot. So I know with every kind of client that I help, that they've gone through that. So I know that for me to get them to the transformation, I have to do this process, right? And so in the same way, we want to identify, like, for a mother to actually find themselves, like, what will they need to do for find their community, like, how would it actually work?
Yeah. So for one thing would be like communities by interest. So they might be interested in different things. It might be modest fashion, or might be, and so there's groups on there that they can go into and start conversations.
Hmm.
So that,
yeah, I mean, this is more just a side point, but later on, like, you could, if you wanted to go specific for knowledge, you could actually say we help Muslim mothers to find knowledge, their community, and their calling, right?
Yep.
Like, you could go down that route as well.
Content, if you want to keep it to the C's.
Yeah. Cool.
So, Mohammed, I wasn't really listening to the last 2 minutes. So, what was the process?
Nothing new there then. Yeah, so we're just saying the process is just like understanding the kind of hurdles that you have to jump through to get to the transformation. What are the points of the process?
But what about when are we actually going to cover the features of the product and what it does?
Yeah, so at this point, like, if you wanted to go into product,
this is where you do it, basically. This is where you do it.
Right. Okay. So, like you were saying, Faisal, about having categories and all that.
Yeah. So categories is
okay. I was listening to that bit. Categories.
You're just ignoring me. Okay.
So what's some ideas, right? So it could be like parenting stuff.
Parenting.
Yeah. Parenting. It could be Islamic knowledge, of course. It could be nutrition.
Fashion's one.
Yeah. Fashion.
Health and wellness. Yeah. Nutrition. That's a good one. Yeah. What else?
Fashion and what's that stuff? What they call it? Makeup artists.
Cosmetics.
No. Makeup rubbish. Yeah.
I wouldn't write that.
Yeah. Go on.
Okay.
What about like relationship, marriage stuff? Maybe?
Marriage, yeah, that's good. That's a very good
one. Come on, Coach Arshad.
I was just waiting for you not to finish with your typical male stereotype ideas.
Yeah, I even got shopping in here.
Yeah. The thing I was thinking,
I mean, if it was for men, what would we even put different? I mean, we'd remove some.
Well, we'd probably have football. We'd have the lads.
I think
bands.
Tourism, by the way. You could have tourism in there.
What would the live stream on tourism be?
Places you can go.
For me, like one big one is the whole thing around like self-care and like maintaining your identity. Like these are the big kind of
personal development.
One is self-care, as in like sisters do cool things that we don't do. Like they actually set up a bath for themselves, and that's like a way of like taking time out and stuff. So I think the whole.
What do I do that? I mean, up to that. If I did that live.
Yeah. So I think
Mr. Perfume shop and all that.
I mean you should write that down. Self-care as in like it's
I would put it here, bro. Wellness with nutrition.
No, but what I'm saying is that the whole pain here, remember the pain of the avatar, right? Is like they're kind of losing themselves. So one thing is about self-care, like actually making time for you, right? And having that kind of giving back to yourself.
How is that a category of video? That's what I'm...
No, it would be, bro. So self-care, trust me, he's right. So, but I mean, it could also be under wellness. It's the same.
Yeah, but I'm saying
wellness is similar.
I'm saying if you guys, what we need to do is we need to actually go deeper in the problem, right? And so what we're doing here is we're just kind of listing typical women things, right? But I'm saying if you now look, because now everything should be based upon what? It should all be based upon the problem solution statement, right? Sure. And there's different elements in there that you're saying. Yeah, so even the product, like, this is what I'm saying, the whole thing around the self is so important, but there's different elements to the self. One is actually, giving yourself time, giving yourself attention, being there as yourself. Another thing, a huge one, is actually your identity. Like identity as its own is a massive topic. And I wouldn't write, personal development. And no. Identity itself is something that should be there,
Yeah, of course. The transition from being single to being married to then actually having kids. Having kids, and now your whole life has gone from being about you to being about the kids. So yeah.
And also remember that identity will fit into the community as well, right? So yeah.
Yeah. So you're saying a category should
mean like we should have like goth or
punk,
emo. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I'm saying.
Electro. Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, Mohammed, are you saying identity should be a category of like
Yeah,
video?
definitely. Like, what's the point
Give
of
me an
you?
example of a topic.
But within identity, there's so many different topics. There's like
Okay.
in terms of yourself as a person, like identifying who you are, like defining your character, all these kind of things that fall into general person development, right? But what I'm saying is that the whole point of this, the way you're going to make a successful platform, is that if it's so tailored to the transformation you're trying to bring, as opposed to it being a generic thing, right?
But,
And I'm saying like,
this is the thing, bro. I think that like, what you're saying, it might come under a category of mindset, or it might come under a category of self-care. I think both of those two things definitely cover a lot of the things you say. I personally think I don't think identity, like even because obviously platforms, you need content creators and you need the community. And so you think, oh, I'm a guy who I'm a content creator who's specialist in identity. So it doesn't really work like that. It would probably be under like mindset or under personal development or something.
Yeah, like we could have a category. You know, these coaches you're talking about, Mohammed, they would need a category basically, and so that could be mindset. What else could it be? I think mindset.
Because a lot of it is psychology, isn't it? It's like psychology and emotions and behaviors and things like that.
I like mindset.
Yeah, mindset. Oh, yeah, you do.
Yeah. So those are some ideas for the categories.
So that's good for from a community perspective and good from sales perspective.
Yeah.
Okay, great.
So what about like what do they have on theirs? Theirs is pretty much a live stream. So if I click on this live stream, what have they got in terms of like features? So enjoy, okay, donate. So schedule, language, okay, follow. So obviously you can follow favorite streamers or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. And then also click to be notified when they get next live.
But you know, one thing I'm saying, guys, is that if we were doing this for real, we wouldn't go down this route of all these categories. Because anyone who's doing a platform, what would we say to them? We would say, follow the Amazon model. What's the Amazon model? The Amazon is
what's the
one thing that you go deep in, you get really good on that, and then you expand.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And this is what I'm saying, that what we're doing here is we're kind of like looking at it more from, the way the platform is going to be, it's going to have parenting, it's going to have nutrition, fashion, makeup, blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, no. Keep it to like this one thing where firstly the sisters will flock to it for that. And then, you just kind of like go wider. Like NetMum, same thing.
Yeah, that's a good point.
It started as a kind of a forum for mums specifically. But then after the forum thing, then maybe they have products and promotions and ideas and all kind of stuff. So I'm saying this is what I'm saying to you about everything I'm saying to you about self-care, identity. This is all to do with that is the biggest thing where sisters are like, they're not served in that way. That's what I'm saying.
With that in mind, bro, can you just add the category of finances? That's a big topic. No, but I agree with what you're saying. But that was coming to me as you were speaking.
So if we had to pick one, it could be wellness, self-care.
It could be like self-care and parenting. They're the two.
Could be like a mixture of these.
With the technology, I guess.
Yeah, it's a bit of a mishmash now.
Yeah, I mean, when we initially did it, it was obviously Islamic knowledge centric. It was this is a place for them to get access to knowledge.
Yeah. But that's how it's supposed to work. When you understand the avatar and what their problems are, then you cater it to them. Sure. And so I think, bro, what I'm seeing this as is like a community platform, right? Yeah. And how do you find community? How do you find people that are on your wavelength? Well, you gather around similar topics, surely, right? Yeah. So that's how we could do it.
I guess in the pilot stage, when we go to the focus groups and stuff, we'll ask them,
But also, I think, guys, what we need to realize is that, in a way, this becomes this like this amazing hub for sisters to just do their own thing. Like really, like without like the men kind of driving it and all of that kind of stuff. It's like the whole sisters thing for sisters, right? And in order to do that, like they want to have that kind of initial focus, like you said, like apart from like the categories, what's the big thing? The massive thing around the product should be community, right? So like all these like follow favorite streamers and notifications when we go live, like these are good kind of enhancements and little features. But what's the biggest thing? The biggest thing apart from the content is the community.
Yeah. So things it's probably I think that add friend and get your own personal network.
No, but you guys are still thinking in features terms. right? Like
Right.
I thought
specifically.
that's what product is about, though.
It is. But what I'm saying is, before you get into features, we want to understand what's the overall objective that we want to try and get to. Because this is the whole point of the pilot, right? The pilot would identify, okay, look, in order for you to help them with confidence, they have to have experience on camera. They have to stand in front of a live audience. They have to stop thinking about themselves. They have to stop, like, you have these processes that you go through, and then you try and mimic them through your product, right? And that's what I'm saying, like, in this situation right here, rather than going to specific features, we're like, okay, from a community perspective, what do we actually want to achieve from a community perspective? What should the community be doing for them, right? And then you build features around that.
Yeah, good point. I agree with that. So in that case, let's have a look. I keep trying to scroll up. I can't scroll up. So can you scroll up a second?
No, I mean, you should just add at the bottom there, just add community at the bottom. And then let's just put down like real things that they would want to get from the community. Like, what is stuff you want to get from a community? One is you want to feel supported, right? One is like you want to have your problems answered and get questions, like, you know, experience from others.
Yeah.
How do you say others, Faisal? Where's the apostrophe there?
I think there is no apostrophe.
I thought apostrophe is when it's like it belongs to someone.
Yeah, but it's not going to the grammar now. What else?
Feel so on the top level kind of stuff. They want to feel supported. I mean, they surely they want to like make friends.
Yeah,
right?
make friends, definitely. Yeah.
Stay in touch, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I guess.
Mentorship.
Celebrations.
Mentor.
Celebrate, like, you know, like quick.
Basically sharing, isn't it?
Like, share. If someone's done well, that everyone's like showing them love and high fives and all that kind of stuff.
You know what? They want to.
How well did they do? Screams and stuff.
Also, do the Arab thing. I mean, do the Arab.
That's for women only.
Yeah. So I think the other thing is that when it comes down to the community, like, they want to feel like they're a part of something.
Yes.
Like, they're part of something. They have an identity. Like, you know, for example, Russell Brunson's done a great job of this, right? Funnel hackers. Like, they have an identity that they actually go through, and he's got a whole structure for the way he kind of builds that identity. And this is what I was saying about identity, that there's nothing more stronger than identity in personal development. Nothing, right? And so, like, making them feel like they're part of something, defining who that is and everything. And you see from here, like, then you've got all the kind of features that come from it now. So, like, if they want to feel like they're part of something, like, the way you induct them into it, that will make them feel like they're part of it or not, you know? So that's what I'm saying about getting high level, what we're trying to do, then from there, clarifying what it is, and then building the features around it and the ideas around it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So
that's all the community stuff. Now, where does the content come in? Because again, I thought we led this thing with content.
Yeah, bro. Basically, what I was thinking is we pay Joe Rogan $110 million to get him to stream here.
So, like I said, I think what you'll find a lot of the time is community is actually even more important than the content, right?
Yeah, definitely.
We've got the content there, but especially I would say for someone who's maybe isolated and lonely, community becomes even more important. Right. And so what you might find is that you actually focus more on community and content becomes a byproduct.
But that's eventually once it hits a tipping point, because the thing is that they catch you coming there initially for the content.
Yeah, that's the hook.
Because that's the thing. Yeah, that's the hook. Exactly. That's the thing. That's what.
But is it because
that's the thing they're sharing in common?
But that's what I'm saying. Like, is that really the hook? Because for me, the way I would choose a hook is what's more painful and what's more like likely going to get them in there, and what's more unique, as opposed to, because if you're saying content, like, how are you going to compete with like YouTube and all this kind of stuff, for example? Yeah. But what I'm saying is, if you go like out of the content, you go community. Look, hold on. Like, anyone can go on YouTube. Anyone can look at sisters' information. Anyone can do this. But you know what? In this place right here, like, there's this exclusive community of Muslim sisters who are like this and that and this and that, and you could be part of that. Like,
yeah, I think it would be both, right? So it would be it wouldn't be content, it would be personalities, right? So Sister XYZ, who already has a few thousand people interested in her stuff, it has joined XYZ.tv or whatever. come and join her community and see when she goes live.
You know what's something that's interesting, I mean, related to this, right, is obviously there's a lot of people that follow the opinion, for example, that a woman can't show her face to someone, right, except another woman, right? So you imagine, like, if you could get a verified way of knowing that it was women only on the platform, for example, you could actually have, like, scholars, like there's a lot of big female scholars who wear niqab and they teach, like, you could have teaching online without any niqabs and all of that kind of stuff, if you could verify it, obviously, right? And that actually goes very deep into solving a real problem where, you know, like I speak to a lot of sisters who want advice and they're kind of like conflicted because they're like, we don't actually want to go out there on camera, right? And their audience is going to be Muslim women anyway. But they're worried that when we go out on camera like that, a whole load of Muslim men are going to kind of come into that, right? So it's like, okay, now there's a conflict that how do I actually like do it without compromising my values? That's a real problem as well.
I thought of that in terms of how to solve that. The issue is that you could verify that you're a female once, but then what if you log in many times? Anyone else could kind of use that login.
No, unless it's a phone thing, and then you know, it's Face ID and stuff.
Yeah, honestly, it
but
could be something like that.
It's a bit like the whole man on the moon thing, right? Like the technology might not exist now, and a lot of it is going to be based on trust. And obviously, I wouldn't say sisters should have...
if you believe that happened.
Yeah, and I'm saying that you shouldn't...
As a joke.
Yeah. I'm saying that sisters, obviously we wouldn't say, like, you know, you take off the hijab and all that kind of stuff, but I'm just saying that because the truth is, like, I could be a sister watching something and my husband could come and look at the video, right?
Yeah.
So, like, you still want to have kind of limits for doing it. Maybe you'd be like, only watch this on your phone, for example. Maybe that you only mobile enable it, right? So that way, like, anyone on desktop can't even access it. Right.
It's an interesting problem to solve, definitely.
Yeah. So I'm just saying that, again, this is what I'm saying, that about the uniqueness and the community and the problem and the people understanding that to a deep level.
Yeah.
Like, this is where the uniqueness comes, and this is why suddenly the value proposition goes from being, oh, you're one of those kind of sites, to, whoa, like, I'm a Muslim woman, I have to be on this.
Yes. That's why I think for community, if when it comes to features, what I would have is like a Reddit style forum, right? Like just borrowing the success of Reddit and just taking the exact same kind of thing and putting it onto this, and it's only for Muslim sisters.
Yeah.
That would be powerful, I think. And then from there you can add people.
I think Reddit's user base, I mean, predominantly male focus, isn't it? So just need to...
Yeah, but it does mean something UX-wise, though, that must be good. Yeah. But yeah, we could look elsewhere. I mean, there's a lot of examples, you know, like Facebook groups. I don't know actually if Facebook groups are actually that good of a product, but yeah, we can borrow these different features. Yeah. There could be like
I've not thought of like brand names yet.
Yeah, I mean, we're running out of time, so we probably should. We've got some ideas of like the value proposition that we would have, so we don't need to go into all the features. So let's make a name, and then let's quickly talk about monetization, and then we'll end.
Okay, sure.
Can we bring the problem solution statement down here then?
Yeah.
So I thought of a name based on everything that we've said up to now. Stream.
Say it again.
Stream.
Stream.
No,
Oh, Stream. Sick. Stream. That's good. Go on. I'm just going to... Oh, what am I doing?
Yeah, I don't know if this is right, like grammatically, but it could be ummati as well, because of like ummah and then, you know, like mine as in our, like the mothers of the ummah and all that stuff. Unity, basically. That's what I'm saying. Like the whole unity around. Or it could be ummati. Instead of community.
That's funny. No, that's kind of funny, you know. I like that. That's interesting.
It's hard to say that. Ummati. So would it work? Community instead of community.
I thought that's what you're trying.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying, but that's what I'm saying. But how would you say?
Ummati,
yeah. Okay, interesting. Where are you going? I mean,
it's kind of weird because that's like so wacky and out there. That's like something I would say.
Oh, sick face! I'm gonna buy Stream before
Stream is available.
Sick.
And we have to buy the version with just one M as well. Oh, it's not available. Oh well.
I think that would too. Because that
Stream, yeah. What would Mummati.
Community, yeah. That's
Is it a bit like okay.
That doesn't roll off the tongue very well, does
yeah.
it?
It doesn't roll off the tongue, but it looks good because it's got a mum in there as well.
Hey.
Mom, yeah, sick. So you can play with it like that, innit?
Community, yeah. Okay. Not one of my best, but anyway. Okay, so find themselves the community.
This is one that you could spend hours on, isn't it? So,
yeah.
I mean, out of these two, I would go with stream.
Let's come up with some
more. Yeah, another one. Another point for me, Mohammad.
Hold on. Calm down, first. Let's get some more down first, man. Like out of two, we're just like, let's just do this one.
Yeah.
Okay.
Next time, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm gonna do like a countdown timer thing, like on the screen.
Yeah.
And then it's like we know what we're up against.
What's this? What's like a what would sister like? You know, if sisters were chilling, right? What would it be called? Like, you know, look at Lad Bible, yeah. So the word lad is actually a very clever thing, I think, from a marketing thing, because it's like it just identifies lad. Okay, that's me, kind of thing, yeah. And obviously, Bible has that connotation of being like a book and authority and stuff. So, what would it be? I'm not saying we do that.
Gal.
Gal.
Who would use that word, Faisal?
Torah. I don't know.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that if sisters were chilling, like what would they call it, or what would they say?
I don't know, like brunch.
That's not good.
Brunch stream, yeah. Call it brunch stream. Yeah.
So they have these like you have these baby showers. So like some of them like baby shower.
No, bro. I think what you mean is baby shark.
I think the thing is good. Like I like as a thing, because if we're saying it's like a mother's thing, yeah.
Basically, it goes specifically to the target market of Muslims.
Do you think is too Arabized?
A little bit.
Because like in Arabic, like if someone said, like Ammi, what would that mean? Is that my
answer? Live, bro. That's sick. I like that.
Live. Yeah, live is good.
That's very good.
Live is good.
Life is good. Mohammad?
Yeah, I'm saying like in a lot of the places, like it will be Ammi instead of Ummi.
So Ammi is my uncle.
Ammi. Ammi.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay. Yeah, live is good. Okay.
How about those Muslim mamas?
Muslim mamas. Okay.
Yeah.
Because it's quite cute and cool and stuff.
Yeah. Some of these might be gone, by the way.
Down with the patriarchy. I think we have. These are some decent ones. What else? What's another word? Like, okay, we've got Yeah. What other word can we play with?
Sisters. You could do the whole sisters thing, innit?
Okay. Sister stream.
Ukhti live.
Sister stream. Ukhti live. Yeah. I don't like this ukhti thing.
Yeah.
Well, astaghfirullah, brother. We got Faisal here who, who says he like. Who was it that said you like sisters? Oh, Amin said he likes sisters, but then he's like, I don't like ukhti. Okay. Sister stream.
That sounds like Soda Stream. Honestly, you know who they're associated with. I got politics in there somewhere, right?
Okay.
So yeah, we sort of talked about. It could be something .tv. So it could still be like.
It could be .live as well. These guys have .tv. It could be just .tv. Oh, it doesn't support the TV ending. What about .live?
Oh no, they don't support it, but someone else will, like GoDaddy.
Yeah. Live is available. Yeah, let's just pick one of these, yeah, that we've already got. Just go away, Yalla, go. How do I get rid of that? Okay. Yeah. I think let's just pick one of these.
let's go with
I'm fine with. What do you say, Faisal?
I think stream or live, I guess.
You know what it is? Like, for me, stream is a bit of a, like, live is a good word. Live, like we're live, I'm live type of thing.
Yeah.
I think stream is a little...
It does. The thing is, it's more descriptive because you know how you have StreamYard and you have all these kind of things.
Yeah,
like,
yeah, true.
You know what you're there for.
So you're favouring Ron Seal name?
Yeah, that's the irony of. Come on, Mati, would be so the pressure got to you, bro.
Yeah. Which
So
one's
what
better?
are you saying?
Which one do you think is better out of the two? On stream or on live?
Stream sounds better, rolls better,
rolls
more
better.
smooth.
What about TV?
TV is just a bit dead.
It sounds like a kid's
simple.
thing, to be honest. TV. I sound like Hum TV. Actually, Hum TV. It could be like.
What's that, Faisal?
Is it some Asian program? Asian channel?
Pious mode on. Dude.
Yeah.
All right, cool. I think on-stream's good.
Okay, that's
so. I mean, just to clarify, you're saying that
I'm
glad you switched it on now. It's been off this whole time.
so you're saying stream is available as a domain. I mean, is that right?
I don't know. Let's see. Stream. And then we could buy it and then sell it to whoever wants to start this after watching.
Whoever's watching this and wants to start, yeah.
Yeah, it's available, yeah.
Exactly. Okay. Bismillah.
Okay.
Make sure you hide your credit card details, yeah? Okay, so let's put it together now.
One last thing that you could do, by the way, is to name it after one of the four. You can just call it RCL or something, or you can call it
RCL Live.
Yeah.
No reason you picked that one, yeah.
No comment. What do you call it? Yeah, so you can do it or Fatima or maybe something along those lines.
Not Mariam, obviously, yeah. Okay, cool. So that's good. Stream.
Yeah. Let's just quickly brainstorm ideas for how it could be monetized.
Just for the sake of Allah, brother.
Yeah. Okay. How are you going to pay the server costs?
Yeah, so for me, this is probably a membership model.
Membership model, and would that be freemium or only membership?
No, maybe it'd be freemium. So the few that'll be free and stuff.
So guys, can you just
certain amount of streams per month, and then after.
Can you guys, for the benefit of you watching, just explain what you mean by freemium?
Basically, it's free until you're a mom.
Okay.
Well, free me up, innit?
Yeah, okay.
No, so freemium is like.
I know you said this podcast will be jokey, but I was under the impression that they'd be good jokes.
So guys, just for you that are watching, freemium is the kind of model that most software companies follow today. So for example, anything like Trello or Calendly or any of these kind of softwares out there, what they'll do is most users will be completely free, and they'll have basic limited services for completely free, and then anything after that is paid, and that kind of pays for everything. First, do you remember that book by Chris Anderson or something that was called Free? I don't know if you remember it. It's a really, really good book about freemium. So the other model we could go is actually donation model, right? Because that's like a real kind of model. With something like this, because it's a sisters type of thing, like, you know, there's a lot of money out there for like these kind of projects.
Are you sort of saying it like you know how people pay out for things like mukbang? So the people on the streams.
Mukbang.
You're paying.
Yeah.
Is it like that?
Yeah.
Okay, that's interesting. Yeah,
There could be that. It could be donation by the viewers, live. Like they've actually got this here. Look, if we look at the original, look here, donate. What happens when I click? Oh, right. No, that just goes to their Launch Good campaign.
Sure.
The Netflix for Islamic lectures.
Okay.
No, that's not been done before. Is this Netflix or Twitch for Muslims? Yeah, I never saw that.
Sick. Okay, interesting.
Yeah, I like that for the curiosity side of it. Like, is it that? Okay. You know what? With the whole membership model, would be interesting if it did like a YouTube premium model or whatever that's called, where YouTube Red or whatever it is, where you pay the platform $10 a month, and $5 of those dollars get split between whichever streams you watch, and it goes to the creators.
So yeah, so that's the what's it called? Udemy. What the other guy is called? Skillshare. Skillshare model, yeah.
Skillshare model. Yeah, that's like an extension of the above one.
Yeah, things have to work at scale for that stuff to be for that to be attractive.
Yeah, like you'll need a ton of
users,
a ton of viewers, to make money.
I mean, look,
then,
if you can hit on some of the pain points. So, for example, that thing that you mentioned earlier about it being a place where sisters can actually, that it's verified. They're not going to have any like men on the platform, and they can, they don't even have to wear hijab and this and that. Then people would pay a subscription fee for that,
just to be
because,
there, yeah.
Because that's unique, and that's like, there's nothing else that solves the real problem. So people would pay, even if it's £20, £30 a month, they'd pay that.
So what does it look like, guys? Like if we went with, let's say, membership just for the sake of time, what would it look like from a pricing perspective?
So we said the avatar is in the Western world for now, right?
Yeah.
Because I think that obviously locations are going to change that wildly, but I don't like this kind of low price thing, but it could be like £5.
It depends if we're going like mass market, right? In the sense that, like, if we're going, because obviously mothers is a big kind of thing there, right? Muslim mothers and everything. So is this like a big mass market thing? In which case you can go down like the Bayina type route of stuff, right?
Yeah, sorry, just to interrupt there. The first thing is that because it's a platform, you do not go to membership like immediately. You want to get as many users on there as possible, and so like it has to be free, even for like even the premium stuff should be free for a certain period of time until you get to a certain level of scale. How you can actually make money in the early days is potentially upsells. So like you have certain premium type of streams, like from really like maybe big names content creators, or it might be checklists or cheat sheets or something like that help with parenting or something like that you provide, and then that they can just download or pay for. So that's that could be stuff, and then eventually you get to the membership model.
To be honest, I would never do membership model with this. I just wrote it, for brainstorming, but I don't think it really suits it.
Tell us more, go.
I mean, you just have to look at all the examples out there that have been successful. That's the first thing. The second thing is, it's like
like Skillshare.
No, but Skillshare is not a platform per se. It's like a course
it is
thing.
a platform. Exactly.
Yeah, but it's a course site. It's not like Twitch or YouTube or what I mean. I feel like this is more like those ones than Skillshare. Skillshare is like you're gonna get a specific skill when you pay $10 a month. You're gonna get skills. This is more community kind of thing. But it could be. I don't know if I've ever seen anyone do this, but it could be like more. If you get the top Muslim female influencers out there, you get them onto the thing, then it could be like pay X amount per month, and it's more like you get like in touch with these people. You get these more private Q&As. You get these because it's going to be higher priced, less people on it, and that kind of model. Although I can't think of one like that, an example.
One example I thought of, again, because this is where you do a lot of the bright spotting stuff as well. One example you could use is Bumble. So Bumble is actually a dating app. So it's like obviously the Western world. It's like Tinder, but the way they've done it is that it's flipped the script in the sense that it's women centric. So women are the ones that have the power to message first, etc. Right? But what they've done to expand it out is that. So they've got it now. Then they've got it from a professional networking perspective, and then they've got it's called Bumble BFF or something. So it's just make friends with other moms or other women and this and that and stuff. So they've kind of done it. So it's like purely on. And they're using the same software which is matching up and stuff.
Right.
But they've gone down that route, and so that's you get a certain amount of matches for free.
I mean, one thing we haven't discussed.
By the way, guys, my battery's gonna die in like 5 minutes.
Good to see you answer that question. When I asked you, are laptops plugged into power? That's like the time to go. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, but that shows that we're over time.
Way over time. Okay, but one thing we didn't discuss, guys, is the actual model that YouTube uses. Which is like, I know this premium things come about now, but their fundamental model is we don't do nothing except ads, right?
Yeah.
So that's like a real monetization thing we should put down here. That just using ads or that kind of thing where, okay, we're going to completely keep it free. But me personally, bro, like to get the business running and all that kind of stuff, like you said, if you get exclusive content, I think Netflix has shown that if you've got mass, like it's a very good model, right? And then Muslim mothers, there's like a lot of Muslim mothers. You could get like even like famous shuyukh doing stuff just for women on this platform content wise. So there's a lot of stuff. And then women feel like, oh yeah, like as a mother, are you a one of it becomes an identity, right? Are you an stream mother? Like, what does that mean? Well, are you that mother?
Oh,
we're here.
Oh, bro, then you get the merch going. You get a little sticker on the back of the car.
Exactly.
You get little, the baby's clothes with the thing. I'm an stream baby. Come on.
Streamer,
Come on.
I'm an streamer. Streamer. Yeah.
Yeah, bro. I would do. I think the first year I would do a launch good campaign. I'll try and raise money for the first year. I'll make it fully free. And after I get users in that first year, then I would think of monetizing. I probably would do it like that.
That's fine. Yeah, that's exactly right.
Okay. Having said that,
you're going to a specific community. I think it's got a chance of doing well on Launch Good.
Great, bro. I'm looking forward to your campaign page.
So I mean, just when you close, bro, it'd be good to just kind of do a summary of like everything we've kind of come up with, and
Okay, so summary is we jumped on this. I should have plugged in my charger. That's the first point. We jumped on this and just kind of off the top of our head, following this framework. I think because we followed the framework, it helped a lot. We got very clear we tried to get very specific on the person we're targeting here. And that helped us then understand their specific problems. We brainstormed, we kept it casual. We found some of the main problems that they have. That we think they have, of course, because we need to go and test this now. Then we thought, okay, from those problems, what promises can we give? And we kind of highlighted them. We came to a conclusion that really community and that little bit of growing and that self-care kind of thing, this is the main thing. This is what our hypothesis is for now, which we're going to test when we do the pilot. We got a problem solution statement, which really kind of summarizes everything really well. Like what we're going after, what we're trying to do. And then we try to develop the product out at the end. Yeah, notice how we did the product stuff and the feature at the end after understanding the problem and the solution we want to bring. We came up with a decent name, and that's a pretty good name for about a 2-minute brainstorm. And then we start thinking how we would make money out of it. So that's what we did. Really good episode, I think, guys. We're gonna have to try and find a way to make this shorter next time, but let us know how you think we did in the comments, what changes you would make, what would your suggestions would be. Did we flop? Are our jokes funny or not? And all of that.
And who wants to buy the on-stream domain for $4,000 off us now?
yeah. So yeah, anyone watching this, Jazakumullahu khairan, and see you next episode. We release these every 2 weeks, it seems.
It's casual, bro. It's casual, like whenever we feel like it, inshallah.
Okay, subhanakallahumma wa bihamdika, ashhadu an la ilaha illa anta, astaghfiruka wa atubu ilayk. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Go to muslimceo.com. Terms and conditions apply.
Like,